Right now on To The Point.
I don't have discretion to allow you to go in the negative.
Sacramento County taking a bigger role in Sac City Unified's budget. The issues the district still faces. Plus, a blockbuster merger stalled for now. What Paramount is now agreeing to after California sues. New tariffs announced against 60 countries. The concern for consumers. And new reports detailing a student loan crisis. What borrowers should know. All right, we're going to start tonight with breaking news. A major lawsuit has been filed on behalf of the victims and neighbors of last July's Esparto fireworks facility explosion. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Walt Gray, in tonight for Alex. 7 people died in that Esparto fire. 5 people now face charges of murder. The lawsuit is against the firework companies involved, Yolo County, including the Sheriff's Department and the Office of the State Fire Marshal. It's 137 pages long. We had just going through that in our newsroom. Let's bring in ABC 10's Robbie Reynolds, who has just started going through the pages of this lawsuit. Robbie?
That's correct, Walt. And those victims want to be paid for what the lawsuit calls pain, suffering, and emotional distress here caused by that explosion. Property owners in that area are also looking for repairs to areas damaged by the explosion. The lawsuit accuses the defendants of a number of mistakes: negligence of safety, proper training and supervision, violations of California labor codes, and even poor payment and working conditions for those workers. It also accuses the Yolo County Sheriff's Department and Fire Marshal's Office of being aware of the potential dangers at the building, but not doing anything about it. Both of those agencies told us they do not respond to pending court cases, so they will not be making any statements. I did also reach out to several family members of the victims. I was told they're still grieving from that explosion, which was, again, just over a year ago, and they do not wish to do any interviews at this time. Now, Walt, one other kind of small, important detail of this lawsuit was actually filed in San Francisco. That's because the lawyers say some of the defendants live there, and they decided to file in San Francisco for this case. Again, it is 137 pages long, so I'm still going through that. I'll have a full report here coming up on Late News tonight as well.
Okay, Robbie, thanks for taking that and looking into it. We will check back with you a little bit later on. Tonight, Sacramento City Unified's budget woes continue. The Sacramento County Office of Education and County Department of Finance will now have more oversight in the district. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen has been looking into that and explains what's changing. Jeannie.
Well, Walt, because of the bad financial spot the district has found itself, the county now has to step in and make sure the district has enough money to pay for things before payments are made. It's something the district board members are applauding.
Why are we making some changes now? So, way back it's really because of the district's fiscal struggles, obviously.
And it's no secret the Sacramento City Unified School District has been experiencing financial issues. As of May 2026, the district reported a budget deficit of $170.5 million and recently approved a $965 million budget for the upcoming school year.
You see attached to your agenda a letter that we sent on July 1st, implementing some new procedures.
Since 1998, the district has been able to make its own payments under the fiscally accountable status. But now under these new procedures, the district must now give the county and county Office of Education at least 2 business days notice before releasing payroll, vendor payments, or other major disbursements.
If you do not have sufficient funds to honor those payments, then the district will be asked to basically cure that. You have the ability to move money around within your various funds to the extent that that's legally allowable.
The county says this will remain the process until the district finds itself in a better spot financially.
I don't have discretion to allow you to go in the negative. So if the district does issue checks that you have inadequate funds for, I can't honor those. I don't have a magic pot of funds to be able to honor that.
A spokesperson with the district provided ABC 10 with a statement that says, in part, staff have worked to identify cost-saving areas to ensure there's enough money to meet obligations and avoid taking a loan from the state. Adding that the recent budget that was approved includes a 20% reduction across every department, not including schools, which will result in about $26.5 million in savings.
This is a slam dunk. We should have this information out there because we have a tight budget right now. We're not up here denying the fiscal situation we're in. I would almost liken this to you were doing well, you had a good job, you got laid off. You're a little tight on cash, so you need to live paycheck to paycheck for a little while, and you need someone to make sure you're not just writing checks that you can't cash. I think this is appropriate.
And the county does want to make clear that the Board of Education has total control over what it spends, but this new procedure just ensures that the district has adequate funds before payments are issued. Walt.
All right, Jeannie to win. All right, thank you, Jeannie. And last night, the district did vote to move forward with putting a tax measure on the November ballot. If passed by 2/3 of voters, people living in the district would pay a $95 annual parcel tax. The district says the tax could generate up to $12 million a year to help pay for special education, early intervention programs, and other student support services. And tonight, a blockbuster of a merger in California on hold for now. Paramount announcing it will not complete a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery until an antitrust trial takes place or until June 2027, whichever comes first. Last Monday, State Attorney General Rob Bonta and 11 other state attorneys general sued to block the $110 billion merger. The Writers Guild of America also was in on a lawsuit. Paramount says delaying the merger will help get the case to trial as quickly as possible. So, in a statement today, Rob Bonta celebrating the agreement while saying in part, quote, "We are eager to make our case in court and celebrate another tremendous win in our effort to ensure this unlawful merger never sees the light of day," end of quote. So in a battle to get their funding secured, lawyers for University of California researchers argue in new court filings that federal agencies illegally ended grants last year by searching keywords related to diversity, gender, vaccine hesitancy, and COVID-19. The initial lawsuit there was filed over a year ago. The grant funding canceled totals nearly $2 billion in our state. The lawyers are asking the judge in this case to skip a trial and formally declare the White House violated the Constitution. In the meantime, a hearing in the case here is scheduled in October. Tonight, thousands of student loan borrowers will now be getting long-awaited debt cancellation. It comes from a 2022 settlement over $23 billion in relief for more than 500,000 federal student loan borrowers. While some borrowers had received relief, thousands more have been waiting. Now the Department of Education has been ordered to continue discharging those loans. It comes as a new report this week shows a wave of student loan borrowers in default. Jeremy Hahola breaks down the concern.
There is a growing crisis among some people who have student loans. In this new eye-opening report from the Associated Press, it was determined about 20% of borrowers haven't paid back their loans in 9 months. This means they've defaulted. This involves about 9.5 million borrowers. This report says defaults have spiked more than 4 million, mostly because a pause on payments during the pandemic ended. And this report also finds about 800,000 people are on the verge of defaulting. So what does this crisis mean? Well, defaulting means that you could get a stain on your credit report, or in the long run, your wages could be garnished. So bottom line here, these student loans that help so many people get through college are now crushing burdens.
So this month, millions of borrowers with federal student loans are adjusting to changes in their repayment plans. The Biden administration's SAVE program ended, leaving borrowers to choose new plans. Borrowers are being told to act quickly to avoid any possible penalties to come. And still ahead, the Trump administration announcing new tariffs. How many countries are impacted this time? And why more than 100,000 ballots were not counted in the California primary last month. Peter.
Yeah, well, I've got some increasing temperatures here in the forecast, but when will we see them? I'll show you that coming up next.
But first, in other headlines tonight, measles cases in the U.S. have now hit a 35-year high. The number has already surpassed last year. Sacramento County and Placer County say they've been monitoring cases this year. Doctors say vaccines to prevent spread are safe and effective. Data shows 90% of cases reported this year happened in unvaccinated populations. The rescheduled White House Correspondents' Dinner is now underway. It comes 3 months after a man opened fire at the first event. It's a smaller event being held at a different hotel. You can stream the speeches right now on the free ABC 10 app. And King James is heading to Philadelphia. The basketball superstar will play for the 76ers in his final run in the NBA. He's agreed to a 2-year, $8 million deal. The 4-time NBA champ says he's not doing it for money or family. but he still wants to work, compete, and have a chance at the feeling of winning. All right, so what's going on this weekend? Well, obviously the State Fair, Cal Expo. You can buy tickets online, save a few bucks ahead of time. There are musical acts every night this weekend. Ja Rule is tonight. KC and the Sunshine Band rolls in tomorrow. How's the weather going to be for the State Fair tomorrow, Peter?
Well, it's not going to be too bad. Pretty much a rinse and repeat of what we saw here today. It's these seasonal conditions that we just keep on getting over and over and over again, it feels like. And that's what's in the forecast for the weekend as well. Highs across the board today. It was actually 92 here in Sacramento. We were 1 degree below that. A bit of a glitch here in the system, but it is 92. But it really won't make too much of a difference in our overall average monthly temperature here. So far in the month of July, we're 0.5 degrees above average. Continues the trend of every single month so far this year being above average, but this is the closest to it here so far in July. But as we get towards the end of the month, that might be changing. We have a little bit more heat on the way. Temperatures across the board right now, right around the 90-degree mark. And as we continue through the rest of your Friday night, plenty of clear skies. Those clear skies are going to lead to temperatures dropping to right around 60 degrees tomorrow morning. So really right now, it's just mild conditions that continue overnight. What's next, though, is that seasonal weekend we were talking about. Then as we get towards the extended forecast, we start to trend a little bit warmer and warmer as we get towards not this weekend, but the following weekend. But we're also tracking the tropics here. We got Tropical Storm Genevieve and Hurricane Fausto. Hurricane Fausto is going to be making its way towards Hawaii as a tropical storm as we get in towards your Tuesday here. Right around Tuesday morning, we'll start to see the impacts there in Hawaii. Beyond that, we're not seeing too much with that storm. We're also watching this storm. This is Tropical Storm Genevieve. It became a tropical storm here earlier today, but notice the path of it. It's pretty much a fish storm, even though it might become a Category 3. A fish storm, as in it's only really going to be impacting the fish in the ocean, because this high is going to continue to force it further to the south and further to the west, because this high is going to linger through our region as we really get through the weekend here, bringing those seasonal conditions we're going to be looking at. Overnight tonight, we're looking at lows right around the 60-degree mark. Again, those clear skies making it pretty comfortable for your Saturday morning. Then by Saturday evening, we're looking at highs right around our afternoon, really, the mid-90s here throughout the area. Plenty of sunshine across the board. Notice as we get towards your Wednesday, you start to see a little bit of an uptick in temperatures in the foothills and the mountains, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in Sacramento as well. A trend of 94s for 4 straight days here in the forecast. Then as we get towards Wednesday, that's when that 95 gets there, and slowly but surely after that wall, we start to see those upper 90s, then eventually by next weekend, those triple digits back in the forecast.
All right, Fausto, Genevieve, and just fish affected.
Just fish affected.
Got it. All right, Peter, thank you. Still ahead, more than 100,000 ballots not counted in last month's primary. The Secretary of State tells us why. Plus gas prices and the war in Iran. Why you may want to fill up tonight. Your voice, your vote. New numbers revealed that nearly 150,000 California voters had their mail-in ballots rejected in the state's June primary. That number is up about 40,000 ballots from 2024. According to the Secretary of State's office, the number of rejection, the higher number, is largely due to late arriving ballots or ones that were postmarked for after Election Day. This year, the U.S. Postal Service said postmarks may not indicate the first day the Postal Service received the mail, but rather the day it was handled in one of its processing centers. In January, a group of U.S. senators sent a letter to the Postal Service alarmed that the changes might impact mail-in ballots during an election year. California election officials continue to urge voters to send their mail ballots in earlier than the night of the election. And tonight, the new tariffs are taking effect in at least 60 countries, just as a temporary 10% global tariff had expired. It comes as oil prices are also on the rise due to the Iran war. Here's Karen Kafa.
The re-escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Iran sent oil prices climbing again this week. Oil supplies are dwindling too from the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, and the Black Sea, where Ukrainian attacks have disabled Russian ports.
So we are in a potentially worse situation now than we have been at any point during the crisis.
Oil prices briefly soared back above $100 a barrel on Thursday after Houthi rebels threatened a blockade in the Red Sea, compounding stress on shipments imposed by the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
It's designed to cause another energy shock, shipping and insurance shock, to spread the impact of this war, again, horizontally across the globe.
Here in the U.S., the conflict has renewed pressure at the gas pumps. Friday's nationwide average for a gallon of regular gas was up 12 cents from 1 week ago, according to AAA, to $4.10. Meanwhile, new U.S. tariffs on goods from dozens of trade partners from Europe to China to India took effect Friday. The Trump administration citing a failure by countries to address alleged use of forced labor to produce goods exported to the U.S.
Finally, we have put our foot down and we have told countries, you need to take action.
Coupled with spiking oil prices, economists continue to sound the alarm over inflation.
These are the things that markets worry about inflation around.
The new tariffs range from 10 to 12.5%.
Karen Kafa on that story. So right now in California, the average gas price, $5.60 a gallon. Some are reporting diesel and gasoline prices could spike again next week, causing people to start to fill up now. All right, still ahead, we're going to hit the back roads. John Bartel takes us to one of nature's wildest water slides. You just never know what you're going to find on the back roads. This week, our John Bartel heads deep into the wilderness, where a trash bag may be all you need to ride one of nature's wildest water slides.
Deep within the forests of northern Idaho's panhandle, water, granite, and a few thousand years of erosion have created a wild ride. This is Lion's Head Natural Water Slide, and getting here may be just as much of an adventure as riding it.
Hey, what's up, guys?
The journey requires a high-clearance vehicle and a 2-mile hike on a poorly marked trail. Luckily, I was able to enlist the help of Ben Spiney, owner of Mountain Mafia Off-Road Park.
We build and race amazing trucks. We have some of the hardest courses in off-road.
The road to the trailhead is an adventure of its own. Deep ruts, rocks, and washouts make this one of those places where the family sedan probably isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, it's pretty bumpy. We had to break out the old Land Cruiser today.
After parking, the real work begins. It's another 2 miles on foot through thick forests, winding trails, and several creek crossings. And apparently, we weren't the only ones using the trail. A mountain goat stopped to check our progress and frankly, looked far less tired than I did. Ben says there's always a surprise around every corner. And when we arrived, the local experts were already here.
Why do you have a garbage bag here?
Oh, because when you're sliding down, it kind of makes you go faster, and you put and you don't want to rip your swimsuit or get or scratch your legs, so you wear this.
It's kind of like an upside down poncho.
So not exactly high-tech equipment, but apparently the trusty trash bag is the secret to speed.
Billy, get up!
Yeah. Well, the rock will take off your skin.
I saw you running. How fast are we sliding?
Maybe 10 miles per hour.
Maybe around 10 miles per hour?
Yeah,
something like
somewhere around there.
Like Mach 2, Mach 3, or something?
A slider's weight and starting speed determines how far and fast you slide down the waterfall. Now, a small pool at the end of the slide is supposed to slow you down, but if it doesn't, a safety rope at the bottom should stop you. After a little coaching, it was finally my turn. No tickets, no lifeguards, no fancy water park equipment, just a mountain, rushing water, and if you're smart, a good garbage bag. It's hidden secrets like this that remind Ben why he lives in Idaho.
I love North Idaho because there's beauty everywhere. We got the ski resorts, we got the awesome mountains, we got the lakes. And I've lived here most of my life, and I come up and find something brand new to me up here in Lion's Head. So that's Idaho to me. We love it. That's why we live here.
From the Lion's Head Natural Slide, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back road. Oh, no.
Oh, my tailbone. I can feel it now. All right, for more Bartel's Backroads destinations on the ABC 10 TV streaming app, all under the show's tab, scroll down to Travel Bartel's Backroads. Download the free app to your TV. And thank you for watching. If you have something you think we should be looking into, email it to us here at the team, abc10.com.